Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Sam Draiss. Of course, you may know him from his photos he takes for the Podium Finish. As I always like to say, he's reaching the top of the podium for the Podium Finish. So that's what I like to say to a few certain people that like this channel. You all know who you are. How's it going, buddy?
Dude, living the flipping dream. Never better in my life. Never better.
Okay, so I know there's been a lot going on lately, especially you. You've got a busy month ahead of you. A lot of events coming up, and it begins next week when you go to New Hampshire. Shooting for the Podium Finish with you, and I believe Nathan Solomon's going up there with you. And for the next week, I think.
Yeah, I believe Josh Jones too. So I'll be with Josh, I think, at New Hampshire next weekend, and then Nathan will be there with Pocono as well. So we'll both be working together, and all three of us are good team.
Yep. So, okay, so how did you get into photography?
So growing up, my dad was a photographer for like local newspapers and stuff, and I just always liked taking pictures. I used to want to be a bird scientist for most of my life. That's what I wanted to do. So I was also homeschooled for a good portion of my childhood. So naturally, I spent a lot of time taking pictures of birds, and I outgrew that, but always still like taking pictures of stuff. And I've always been a motorsports fan, and I became very avid into motorsports, NASCAR, IMSA, IndyCar, Formula One, all throughout my teenage years. And I used to record videos when I went to races. I used to have a YouTube channel. I don't anymore. They don't make videos. But then I started taking pictures instead of videos, and I was just like, well, it makes sense that I enjoy this. And I just enjoyed it so much that I'm just like, all right, I found my passion at such a young age. Like, I'm 21 now. I've been doing it since I was 17. Like, seriously, I'm like, it'd be kind of stupid not to try to make a career out of it, right? So that's where we're at.
So I know when did you start shooting motorsports?
So shooting motorsports photography wise, I'd say 2017 was the first time I brought my camera to a track to specifically just take pictures instead of videos for YouTube. And that would have been IMSA at Lime Rock. So the Northeast Grand Prix in 2017. I was just shooting on a little point and shoot. I didn't have the ambition. I was like, I just wanted to do it for a hobby. And over the years, it's developed more to just like, well, maybe I could do this more than a hobby.
Yeah. So awkwardly enough, I know the Northeast Grand Prix is next week at Lime Rock.
Yes.
We're going to be at New Hampshire. So one of these days they will not put that weekend on there. It's like kind of the Northeast run there a little bit.
Yeah, the IndyCar is in Toronto. Like, I feel like we should be helping each other out instead of the cross scheduling. But
yeah, I'm going to Mid Ohio this weekend, so it's for trucks and ARCA, so it'll be fun stuff there. So yeah,
yes.
Cups and Cup Xfinity's in Atlanta, trucks and ARCA are in Mid Ohio, and yeah, fun. Yeah, I will. It'll be a fun time. So. Yeah. So how'd you get with like how'd the Podium Finish find it? Because Rob Tiongson is well known to find a lot of people.
Yes.
A lot of people built. I think he's built a network of 40 photographers, if I'm not mistaken. So I believe someone from TPF is at least every single race. Well, most likely.
Yeah, so obviously, if you know anything about the working in motorsports, whether it's photography or some sort of PR or whatever, or journalism, networking is the biggest key. Like, you could be the best photographer, the best writer in the world, but if you don't know how to talk to people or don't have any sort of networking, then, well, too bad, tough luck, and vice versa. So I found that Facebook has been my biggest marketing, or I guess you have to market yourself. So it's been my biggest networking tool. So there was a point that I'd spend like an hour or two on Facebook each day for weeks at a time, just looking at people in the industry, shooting them a friend request, just hoping for the best, to the point now that everybody that shows up with my suggested friends are people in the industry. And I don't know if I sent one or I got sent one from Rob Tiongson one day, but that happened. And I'm just like, all right, yeah, like at this point, like, it's kind of normal for me to be getting friend requests to these people. I'm like, all right, I know who he is. I know, he's involved in journalism. And I'm like, all right, whatever. A couple of weeks went by and I get a message on Facebook and it's Rob, and he's just like, "Hey Sam, have you ever shot for a NASCAR race at all?" And like immediately, I'm just like, "I know what this is about. Like, this is awesome." I text Seth Eager,
Yeah.
because he's been a mentor for me. He's helped me so much with all this. I'm like, bro. I sent a screenshot of the text. He's like, "Dude, take it," and that's how we got there.
Yeah, of course, for people that do not know, Seth Egger writes for Kicking the Tires, who's also a good friend of mine. So, yeah, good stuff. And that's funny how all this, everything just kind of comes together a little bit, and that's how this works. So, I can't help but notice, or I can't help but you, our friends that who may be watching this video, notice all the cool stuff that's in your room and behind you.
Yes.
I see behind you is I believe a 2014 Parker Kligerman bumper, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, so that is the bumper from Parker Kligerman's 2014 practice flip at Daytona. I got it on eBay. I paid, I believe, $40 for it, shipped. The guy had pictures and videos and everything to prove that it was from that incident. So that's probably one of my proudest possessions racing wise. It's just like, it's so cool. Like and also I had an obsession with Swan Energy Racing back in the day. I don't know why.
Really?
I was like 13 at the time. So I think it was more like for memery or whatever. But so it's just like, perfect piece to have.
2014. That was the year I graduated high school. So
yeah, I'm young blood.
Yeah, I mean, you're not young. You're 21. So
yeah, I mean, I can drink, so I'm not that young.
At least that's good. Yeah. Don't do that. Drinking's not cool. Well, it is for some people, but I just don't do it.
No, I don't enjoy it.
So you were telling me before we started recording, you do have some other cool stuff in your room.
Yeah, so Casey found this to be the coolest thing. I just have a giant Monster Energy cup banner on my ceiling. That was
it's just like, oh, it's a big banner up there.
It's been up there for 3 years, and there's like a bit of like a sag in the middle. I can't imagine the amount of dust that's up there. In the corner, you can't really see it. I'm kind of like stuck to my laptop here. I have a Porsche bumper from International GT, Porsche windshields. I have like a Michael McDowell, Spencer Gallagher door panels, a whole bunch of stuff. And my dad and I have had a diecast collection for several years. And between the two of us, I believe we have close to, if not 300, 124 diecasts just scattered around the house.
Nice.
In his man cave in my room.
That's amazing. Always love rooms full of diecasts. It's
yes,
it's pretty cool. So, I know. Okay, for people that do not know, you have I believe you mentioned this, but we're kind of in that northeast stretch where you're going to be at a lot of races coming up.
Yeah, so I'm going for it. Like, my schedule for this month has been pretty crazy, especially for somebody who's still working their footing. So I shot SRX at Stafford this past Saturday. I have a track day at Pocono tomorrow. I have a track day at Lime Rock Park Saturday. I have NASCAR at New Hampshire next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The Tuesday after that, I'm shooting another track day at Lime Rock. The next Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I got NASCAR Pocono. And then the next weekend, I am the social media director for a motorcycle series that races at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, the New England Motorcycle Road Racers Club.
Right.
And I take pictures there as well. So on the road constantly as much as I can to get at the track as much as possible.
Yeah. So I know that what's been most exciting, because I know you were at IMSA a few weeks ago at Watkins Glen. I bet that had to be insane.
It was unreal. It was, if you told 12-year-old me, I mean, that was gonna happen, I would have just burst out crying. So I wouldn't believe you. But if you convinced me it was real, it was the coolest experience I could have ever imagined. Just being around all these cars, being so close, being able to chase my passion as just so close instead of being behind a catch fence or being up in the stands, and be able to just work and do something I enjoy working. It was incredible. It's just no words to describe it.
Yeah. So where's the best place to take photos at races?
Preferably the places that other people aren't taking photos, because I like to be unique. I try to be unique. Usually my shots don't come out as unique because, the best ones are the best spots for there's a reason they're the best spots. But every time I go to race, if it's a track that I haven't been to, I will stick around, see where other photographers go at first, and then kind of just try to venture out my own. It really just depends on track to track. At Lime Rock Park, for example, that's my adult playground. I know it like the back of my hand, and there's always the places you like to go. But I always try to challenge myself and try to do something different each time I go to any track.
Yeah. Okay. So what of the tracks have you been to this year?
This year, I've been to the New Hampshire Motor Speedway road course,
Okay.
Pocono Raceway's road course, Lime Rock Park, Watkins Glen, Lebanon Valley Speedway. Whoop. I don't know if I blacked out there. Sorry, my phone died. Palmer Motorsports Park. Let's see, Watkins Glen, Lime Rock. I shot an ice race in January when it was 4 degrees out, windy.
That was bad.
The winch. Yeah, so I had to walk out in the middle of a frozen lake, like a mile into the lake. It was about 5 degrees out, wind, like 20-mile-per-hour wind. It was awesome. Absolutely loved it. I think that brings me to where it's at right now, but I'll be adding a couple new tracks, in the near future. Oh, and Dover. Cannot forget Dover.
Did you go to Richmond?
I did not have the opportunity to.
Yeah.
I might go next month. We'll see what happens where finances are, because gas with all these trips is getting expensive.
Yeah, well, gas prices are going down according to our good gas expert, gas price expert, Patrick DeHaan of GasBuddy.com.
There you go. All right.
Gas prices are going down across, which reminds me, I need to go get gas because I'm going down to a race this weekend.
Yeah.
I talk about it. I ask this to a lot of people. What's it like being at a racetrack and actually doing this and going behind the scenes and take things that not everybody gets to see?
It's strange almost being on, like, I guess, like an inner circle, like, obviously I'm new to this, so there's still a bit, like, my first race was like, oh, cool, like all these people that I, watch on TV are all around me. And it's the biggest shock is just like, everybody's just a normal person.
Yeah.
Like, everybody is just a normal person. Like, for example, at Dover is on the red carpet, and I'm seeing around, like, I've been around the drivers all weekend, just, taking pictures about that. And when they walk on the red carpet, it's just like, there's such a contrast, between like how people get treated there versus on the inside. So it's like, that's a big shock to me. Like, I kind of expected it. I'm like, yeah, everybody's just a normal person. But that is like the access I have to be able to go take pictures and be able to talk to people in the industry to hopefully further my career. You don't have that ability to do that outside as much. There's opportunities like tweet ups and, meet and greets and stuff where, maybe you can be like, you introduce yourself to somebody's PR person or something like, hey, this is what I do. But that just feel like it's so close. Like, there's like a danger aspect to it. Like, there's not a catch fence between you. Like, I keep saying, like, there is that Porsche crash at Lime Rock or Watkins Glen. The person who flipped over in the S's, that was right in front of me, and there was no catch fence in front of me. I almost started running. It's very much more adrenaline based on when it comes to the racing aspect.
Yeah. What is the most exciting photo you ever took?
Exciting photo?
Yeah.
In terms of just pure adrenaline.
Yeah.
I believe it was, I forget his name, it was Kyle Tilley. It was in the opening lap of the Porsche GT3 race at Watkins Glen last week.
Okay.
And the first one when I believe his name was Kyle Tilley. I might be wrong, but
Kyle Tilley was in that race.
Yes, I believe that was him that had flipped over right in front of me. I mean, he landed 30 feet from me, and there's the whole field of Porsches screaming at me coming up the S's. I was shaking from adrenaline like this for at least a half an hour, if not an hour.
Yeah, that had to be exciting.
It was. Glad he's okay.
Yeah, that's good. Of course, he was in the truck race. He was in the cup race last week. So
yes,
yeah, good stuff. All right. Well, Sam Draiss, thank you so much for coming on. We're gonna have you on again sometime. How about that?
It was a pleasure, man. It was a pleasure. I'd love to do it again.
All right, Sam Draiss from the Podium Finish.